Good morning. In last lecture, we talked about the functions. We talked about that there are four varieties of the function. The first variety is there is no return type and no argument. So we have seen the one example, simple example of void print line, right? And this function is not returning anything and there is no argument. If you want to write the argument, then you can write the argument over here in the parenthesis, and this is the return type. The second variety we have seen, and that is with return type and no argument. So it is again like what? For example, I am writing the function that is integer get square, but I am not passing any argument. I am simply returning the value, for example 5 into 5, but it will be static. So this function will return always the same value, that is 25. Another variety is there, and that is what? No return type but with argument, right? So no return type with argument. For example, I have the function void print line in which I have which character you want to print and how many times you want to print, right? So this is the function that we have seen, but this will not return anything. And the last variety, that is the most important, you can say with return type and with argument. So sometimes we need the value, that is the processed value from the user, and at that time we can write the function with return type with argument. For example, I am declaring the function that is integer get square, but now I will accept the input from the user, that is integer number, and based on the number I will process something and I will return the value. So what I will do, return number multiply by number. So these are the four varieties that we have seen. We already discussed that the argument that is passed in the function, that is known as a formal parameter, and whenever user call that function and pass the value, for example from main I'm just calling the function and I'm passing the value, that is for example get square, and I'm passing the value 10, then this 10 is actual argument and this number is a formal argument. Whenever you pass this actual to formal, and whenever you are processing the formal, changes into the formal does not affect your actual, that is known as a call by value, and changes into the formal change my actual value also, it is known as a call by reference. So let's start with the some more functions and some more details. I want to give you some more examples of the function, and for that I want to define the function, that is the function declaration over here. So I'm just writing here, that is function declaration. What I want to do, I want to calculate the power of the number. For example, if I pass the value that is 2 and 5, then I want the output that is 32. It means 2 raised to 5. And if user pass 5 and 3, then I want the output that is 125. It means 5 raised to 3. But user can pass any double value, that is floating point value also. So I want to calculate the function that is power function, right? So I'm just creating my own function, that is power function, which accepts the double as a, that is the base value, and integer as a power. For example, here let me explain what I want to do. If user pass 5 comma 3, right, then I want to do that the 5 raised to 3, it means I want the output that is 5 into 5 into 5, and I want the 125 as a result, right? So this is just a function declaration. Now I want to define the function, so definitely I need to write the function definition. Whenever you write the function definition, you need to write the variable name also. For example, double, that is x, and integer, that is n. So what I want to do, I want x raised to n. So it means if user pass the 5 comma 3, then I want the 5 raised to 3. So how we can do this? It is very simple. Definitely we can do this with the inbuilt math.h library, but I don't want to use the inbuilt library. So how we can do this? Simple. Here you can take the one variable that is integer I. Then what we can do? For I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. So n times I will just run the loop. For example, if user says that I want 3 times. So if it is a 5, then 5 into 5 into 5 that I want to do 3 times. Right? So I'm just simply running the loop up to 1 to n. And here I am taking the one variable that is double, and that is result. Now what I want to do here, I'm just simply executing that result multiply is equal to x. So definitely I will assign here that is result is equal to 1. So if user pass here 5, then result multiply by 5. So 1 into 5 you will get the 5. Next time 5 into 5 you will get the 25 into result. Then 25 into 5 you will get the 125 into the result, and simply you can return your result variable. So this is my function definition. Now how we can call this? Very simple. Here we can declare that is double. Now we will ask to the user for the x and n value. It means what power you want, right? So I will just declare the one variable that is double x, and I am declaring here variable that is integer n. Now I will ask to the user enter value of x. So whatever user enter, that we will store into, now you all know it is a double. So we need to write percentage LF, and here we can write ampersand x. So your value will be stored into x. Now not only x, we need the power also. So this is the base and you can say power, right? So now I want the value of n. So I'm just asking to the user enter the value of n, but it will be percentage d. Why? Because it is an integer. Now I want to calculate the power. So you can simply write over here that is power is equal to percentage LF. Why percentage LF? Because my function that is the double function is that is function power is returning the double. So here you can simply call your function power, and here you can pass the two argument x and n. So I'm simply passing x and n, that whatever user has passed, right? You can simply build and run your code, and whenever you run this code you will get the output over here. See here it is asking me for the value of x. I'm just passing the 5. It is asking me for the value of n. I'm passing 3. It says that 125.00000. Why? Because it is a double number. So if you don't want the point after this, then you can write 0.0LF. So whenever you write 0.0LF, now it will be user defined. For example, if I says that the 10,3, right, then the value will be 1000 and there will be no decimal point after this. So you can restrict to the decimal point also if you want to do the same. So you can develop this kind of program very easily. You can calculate the power, and that is x raised to n, and using the function. Now sometimes people says that, sir, I want to create my own function, and that is to calculate that the given number is prime or not. I want to check the same. Can we do the same? Yes, you can do using the function, and it is very easy. Let me save this program as demo 6. Now what I want to do? I just want to calculate that the given number is prime number or not. So very simple. Whenever you want to do this, simply you need to create the function. So how we can create the function? I just want to return the user to the value, that is if number is prime then I want to return the 1. If it is not prime then I want to return the 0. So I'm just creating the function that is integer is prime, and I'm just taking the input from the user, that is integer. Now here in function definition what we will write? Simple. We can write over here that is integer is prime function. We will get the number from the user. Now what we need to write over here? Simple. We can write here I integer. We can declare the variable integer I, Even we can declare the variable that is integer prime equal to 1. It means by default we will say that the number given is prime. Now what we will do, for I equal to 2, I less than or equal to number divided by 2 we will run. We already explored in the previous lectures that how to calculate the prime number. So I'm just writing over here the same loop, that is for I equal to 2, I less than or equal to number by 2. If number is divisible by I, if number is divisible by I, then it is not the prime. If number is divisible by I, then definitely it is not a prime. And if it is not divisible, then definitely it is a prime. And if it is a prime, then we don't need to worry. If it is a prime, then it will return the 1 because we already assigned the value 1. So simply return the prime. Simply return the prime. This is the function to check the given number is prime or not. Now what we can write over here? Simple. I'm just declaring the number. Integer number is equal to, for example, 13. Right? You can also get from the user also. Now I'm just doing what? Percentage D now is prime or not, that I want to check. So I can write here condition if is prime of number. So now is prime is my function. So what I will do, I will just pass this 13 in my function. So this will do what? It will run up to 13 by 2. If this number is a prime, then it will simply return the 1. If it is not prime, then it will return the 0. If it is a prime, right? So we will simply print that the percentage D is a prime. And we will simply print our number over here. And if it is not prime, then we will simply print that percentage D is not prime and we can print the number. We all know the 13 is our prime number. So we should get the message that the 13 is a prime. Yes, it is correct. Now instead of 13, if you write 15, then definitely it will give you a message that the 15 is not prime. So it will be more easy for you guys. This is the very easy function. Now once you crack this function, it will be easy for you to find out the first 100 prime also, right? If you want to find out the first 100 primes, then you simply need to write the one loop and you can get the first 100 prime using this function. Now I want the first 100 primes. Then it is very easy, students. You can directly do over here, that is integer number. For example, for number is equal to 2, number less than or equal to 100, number plus plus. Now here we can simply write the condition if is a prime number. If it is a prime, then print that number, otherwise no need to print anything. If this number is a prime, then print this. Otherwise, no need to print anything and it will give me the first 100 primes. See here, it is very easy. Your programming will become very easy. If you look over here, then it give you the first 100 primes. What I did, I just written one function and then in the loop, I used that function. If it is a prime, then I am printing. If it is not prime, then I am not printing. And this function will reduce my code also, and it is very easy to understand for the developers. But sometimes people says that, sir, I don't want to pass here the single value. It means I don't want to pass the, that is primitive data type over here. I want to pass over here like array. Can I pass the array to the function? Yes, we can. Let me give you the example for passing an array to the function. And for that, what I want to do, that I will mention in the function declaration. And then we will define the function definition. So what I want to do, very simple. I want to find it out the maximum from given array, right? I want to find it out the maximum from given array. So if it is a maximum, then I want to get the data and from n number of elements. So what I want to do, user has passed one array and how many elements are there. So based on the number of elements and based on this array, I want to find it out the maximum from the given array. So you can declare here any data type over here. You can declare the derived data type like array also. You can pass the array to your function also. So how we can do this? Very simple. Let me declare here that is integer arr. This is my array, right? Is equal to, now I'm just writing here some numbers. For example, 32, 53, 55, 35, 36, 12, 56, 76, 65, 38, 87 and 23. The numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So there are 12 numbers are there, right? Now what I want to do, I want to find it out the maximum from this number. Is it possible to find it out? Yes, you can. So how we can do this? We can create here one function that is integer max, integer array, and we can pass the integer how many elements are there. So instead of writing here the static 12, you can also get from the user how many numbers you want. If user says that 5 numbers, then you can pass the n over here, so it will be the 5 elements. So what we can do over here, integer I is equal to, for example, 0. For I equal to 0, I less than n, it means up to number of elements in array, we will run the loop. Now what we will do over here, we will write simple one condition, if arr of I. So now here my variable name is a, right? You can declare here arr also, and if it is a, then you can write if a of I is greater than the max. It means if any value is greater than the maximum, but what max is? So definitely I need to declare one variable maximum is equal to arr of 0. So first element will be maximum, that is 32. If any element is greater than the 32, then that element will become the max. So max is equal to a of I. This is my array name, that is a, right? Now once you get the maximum, you can simply return your max. Once you get the maximum, simply you can return the max, and as a result it will be wonderful thing for you guys. You can simply print over here that maximum is equal to %d pass array. So you can call the function, right, max function. You can pass your array and you can pass the number of element. Right now the number of elements are 12, so I'm passing 12. So what happened in this case? See, this is the only 2-line code in the main function. Only 2-line code. This is my array and I'm calling the function find the max. So my array and the total elements 12 will be passed. So my this loop will run up to 0 to 12. If any element is greater than the max, then that element will become the max, and finally I will get the max. So you can simply run this particular code and you will get the output that the maximum from this number is what? And the maximum is equal to 87. Now people says that, sir, I don't want to fix the elements. Can I declare here that is the n elements? Yes, of course. How? You can save this particular program, save as, and here you can write demo 8. Now I want to enhance the code is what? I want that the array of 50, and the element is as initialized with the 0. Now I want to ask to the user, printf, enter how many numbers you want, right? So here user will ask, user will get enter the number, how many numbers. So I will just get the number, that is m%n. Definitely I need to declare the variable n. So now what we will do, simply we will get the number from the user. So what we need to do over here, I equal to 0. So I need to declare the variable I also. I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and we will get the value from the user, enter number 1. So if you want to write enter number 1, then you can write here %d, and that is the %d is what? %d is what? That is your I, right? Then we can write here that is I plus 1. So I value is 0. 0 plus 1, it will be 1. Enter the number 1, number 2, number 3, like that. Scanf percentage d, and we will initialize the value into our array. We will initialize our value into the array. Simply we will pass here array and n. Simply we will pass array and n. If you look carefully over here, then this is the complete code. What I did, I just declared the function maximum array and n. Now I will get the number from the user, how many numbers you want. Up to that number, I will run the loop. I will get the number, so number will be stored into my array. Then I am simply passing the array and n to the function. So my array and n will be passed over here, and I am simply getting the max, right? So you can simply run your code and you will get the result over here. Now it will ask me for the input. How many numbers you want? I want the 5 numbers. So it says that enter number 1, 43. It says that number 2, 23, 56, 21 and 52. It says that the maximum is equal to 56. So it is very simple. If you are creating a function, then it is very simple. You can simply call the function and you can get the maximum over here. Now suppose if anybody from you says that, sir, I want to know what is call by value and call by reference, and I want to know that if array is passed, then if I change the any value into inside the array into the formal, can it make the changes into the actual? Yes. If you pass the array, then whenever you pass the array, it will be treated as a call by reference. And if you want to know this, then I have the wonderful example for you guys. Let me explain very simple function. This is the void show function, and I have integer variable. In my function declaration definition, I'm just doing what? Whatever the user passed the value, that for example, so I'm just doing what? Number multiply is equal to 2. It means what I want to do. Here I am declaring the number is equal to, for example, 10. I'm just printing over here, that is number is equal to percentage d, and I am printing the value number. But this is the before calling. It means before calling the show function, I am printing the value of number. Now I'm just calling the function show and I'm passing the value number. After passing the value number, I'm just printing over here, that is after calling, what is the value of number, right? So simply I want to check if I make the changes, if I make the changes into the function, if I make the changes into the function, is my actual variable get changed or not? That I want to check. And here I am simply printing that inside the function, number is equal to this. So whenever I call, see, number is equal to 10, so definitely before calling it will be 10, right? Now function will be called, so 10 will be passed over here. 10 into 2, it will be 20. So inside function it will be 20. Definitely it is true. But after calling, whenever you print, you will get the original value as it is. And if your original value is as it is, this is known as a call by value. It means your actual value is 10. You have made the changes into the function, inside function. So inside function it is 20. It means changes into the formal, that is number. Changes into the formal does not change your actual. It is known as a call by value. My previous value is 10, still it is 10, but inside function it is 20, right? It means my actual value is not changed yet. So you can say that this function void show is a call by value. Now I want to know that is whenever you pass the array, is it call by reference? Yes, it is call by reference. Let me give you the wonderful example for the same. I'm declaring here function that is void display. Now instead of integer, now it is array. Instead of integer, now it is array. The same thing that I did over here, the same thing I am doing over here. But now the changes will be what? Changes will be what? Instead of number, I will declare the array, right? And array is equal to, I have the value. Array is equal to, I have the value 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now I am here printing before calling, let me write over here, that is printf slash n call by reference, right? I'm writing here slash n, so it will look good. Yes, call by reference. Here you can print it is a call by value. Now what happens, see, before calling I want to know what is the value of ARR of 0. So definitely ARR of 0, it means the value of array of the first index will be 10, right? Now I'm calling the function display over here, and inside the display I'm passing call array. Now I want to know call by reference. The same function is there, just the name is changed. Just the name is changed. Instead of so, it is display. Now instead of number, it is an array. Now what we can do, ARR of 0 multiply is equal to 2. inside function ARR of 0 is equal to, so inside function definitely it will be changed, it will be 20. But as a result, whenever you print over here, that is the ARR of 0, it will be also changed, right? After calling number, after calling ARR of 0 is equal to, before calling ARR of 0 is equal to. So this is the function. So you will get the proper idea what is called by value and called by reference. What I did, nothing. See, I created one function that is so, in which I have the simple primitive data type, and here I have the derived data type, that is array. Whenever you pass here so number, so definitely inside the function it will be changed, and after calling the function your value will not be changed, right? So your actual value will not be changed. I just need to write here semicolon. So whenever you call by value, what happened in this particular case? Yes, definitely I need to declare array, right? So let me compile and run this. Now what happens, see carefully. This is the wonderful program. Call by value do what? Before calling it is 10, after calling it is also 10. It means the changes into the function will not change my actual thing. It is known as a call by value. Before calling in a call by reference it is 10, and after calling it is at 20. Why? Because the inside function it is changed, and once you change inside the function, the value that is actual passed will also be changed, and that is known as a call by reference. But in C language what happened, whenever you pass array, derived data type, or whenever you pass address, then and then this call by references comes into the picture. If you are pass simply value, then always it is a call by value. Now I want to convert all these functions, that whatever we discussed today, that is power, prime, max, display, and so, that I want to convert into menu driven program. So can we do the same? Yes, it is. It is very easy to convert the menu driven program. How we can do this? Let me show the same thing. You can just write over here, that is demo10.c. What you want to do, that you can simply call the functions and all these things, but you can call if and only if the case is there. So what I'm doing, see carefully students, I'm just cutting this particular code. I'm just cutting this. So this is a one function, this is the second function, right? Now I'm just doing here, that is declaring the variable integer choice. Now what we can do over here, we can just simply write here do while choice not equal to 0. So until and unless choice not equal to 0, this loop will be running on. Then we can simply write over here printf 1 4. What you want to do? I want to find it out the power, right? Here you can write simply slash n. What you want to do? Printf slash n 2 4. I want to check the prime or not. Printf slash n 3 4. I want to check the find the max from array. Printf 4 4. I just want to know call by value. Printf 5 4. What you want to do? I want to check call by reference. And printf 0 for what you want to do. I just want to exit from the program, right? Now what we can do over here, printf enter your choice. So we will ask to the user that enter your choice. So we will get the choice from the user scanf %d ampersand choice. Based on the choice, we will execute the same. So what we can do over here, simply we can call the switch and we can pass our choice. If it is a case 1, then what you want to do, you can write over here break. If it is a case 2, then what you want to do, you can write over here. If it is a case 3, then what you want to do, you can write over here. If it is a case 4, I'm simply cutting this code that I paste over here, right? Now, I just want to cut this particular code, that is for call by reference. And you can write over here that is break. So this is my code for case number 4. If it is case number 5, then you can paste over here, and this is for call by reference. I just want to check what is call by reference, call by value, and all these things. It is break. You can simply cut this your declaration, and you can define your declaration at the top part in a C language. So you can simply declare all the variables over here. I did nothing in the 1 2 3, but I did into 4 and 5. What if user click on the case 0? If it is a case 0, then we can simply write over here that is thank you, have a nice day. So it will print the message that is thank you, have a nice day. Simple, right? But in which situation it will do this? If it is a case 0, you can simply run this program, that is build and run. And whenever you run this particular code, it will ask for the option. If I am writing 1, loop will running on. 2, loop will running on. 3, but if I say 4, then call by value says that the before calling 10, after calling 10, inside it is 20, it is called by value. If you write 5, then call by reference says before 10, inside 20, after 20. And if you says 0, it says that thank you, have a nice day. Now whatever we did earlier in earlier program, for example demo 5, what we check? We check for the power. So we just need to do what in demo, that is 10, we just need to define the declaration. After that, we just need to define the definition. So we can just copy paste all these things. Once it is done, we can simply copy paste all these things. Once it is done, we can simply call our function. So whatever we did in the demo number 5, you can simply call this. You can simply call this inside your case number 3. Sorry, it is a case number 1. So you can simply paste this, right? So this is the code for the to check. It is to check the power, right? Definitely I need to declare the variable. So whatever the number that is declared over here, whatever the variable that is declared over here, that you can declare over here in your program. Once it is done, you can check. Now your program is working fine. Enter the value of x, for example 10 raised to 3, it should be 1000. Yes, it is 1000, right? Now we need to do a 2 operation. One is prime and another is find max. So we can simply open our program, that is demo number 6. This program is for prime. You can simply copy this and you can paste over here. So this is the second operation, that is to check for the prime. Simply we need to just copy the function definition. We can copy this, and here in the demo number 10 we can simply copy our function, and we can, whatever we did over here, that is to print the first 100 primes, right? That code we will do over here in the demo number 10 to print the first 100 primes. So what we need to do, we need to just simply copy paste into the case number 2. So we can simply write a loop over here, and that is up to number is equal to, number is already declared, so no need to worry, and simply you can run. Now I want to find it out the prime. So whenever I press 2, it will display the 100 primes. See, right? And you can just press 0. All other options are already working on. Now only one option is there, and that option is to find the max. So you can simply copy this and you can paste over here in your function declaration. So this is the 5th function, right? And you just need to copy this particular thing. Once it is done, you can simply copy paste over here. So this is your function definition for the max. Once it is done, you can simply move to your particular code and you can find the maximum, right? Now I want to just find it out the maximum from the given array. So this is my ARR, and I'm just copying over here, where I will copy this in the case number 3. So here in case number 3, we will find it out the maximum, but definitely I need to declare this variable over here. But ARR is already declared, and if you want to use the same array, then you can. Otherwise, you can write here ARR1, right? So I need to just write over here, that is ARR1. So now whenever you run this particular code, it is the complete code. 1, 2 raised to 3, it is 8. 2, these are the list of prime number. 3, maximum is equal to 87. 4, it is call by value. But now what happens, see, your number variable is changed, right? And that is the reason why the value is changed. But no problem at all. Number value is up to 100. So it is 101 multiplied by 2. But actual value is not changed yet. Actual value is not changed yet. So it is a call by value, and call by reference says that if it is a 20 inside the function, then your actual value will be changed. So this is the power of function, and using the function your code will become easy. So whenever you want to debug or trace anything, you just need to look into that particular function only. Suppose if you think that I want to make the changes, then in that particular function only you need to make the change. This is the powerful thing that you can do. So that's it from my side.